Hey everybody, and thanks for tuning in again at my channel Planet Build. And welcome to Sunshine Scandinavia episode 11. Today we are going to focus on the second section for this whole new tropical area, which I call the Coral Reef District. Now in the last two videos you've seen work on the entrance area, which is now completed. And I think this theming gives me a nice idea of how to work on the second section. Now for the second section I already did some planning because I put down the layout of the pathwork. I was brainstorming about where I'm going to put those attractions, where I'm going to add the entrances for the attractions, and also where I'm going to add some shops, some places to sit, but also some places to eat and drink. And in the back you got the monorail station, which will also be connected to this new area. Now you got the three flat rides in this whole new area, which is the Wave Buster. I'm not quite sure what kind of theming I'm going to do around that one, so that will be probably the last thing I'm going to do for this area. You got the, what I call it, the Flight at Black Rock Cave attraction, which will be an attraction surrounded by a lot of rocks and eventually going out of a cave to go back in the cave when it goes down. And you got the Coral Reef Mining attraction. Now this was one of my highly viewed videos over the last couple of months. And this is an attraction which I've built in the beginnings of Planet Coaster 2. Unfortunately it had over 4,000 pieces, so I only can upload it for you guys as a park. But in this case I did cut it in half and then edit it back together to place it in this park. The only thing for this attraction still remaining is the retheming on the front side, because the original had the white rocks on the front side, and I do want the tropical boulders in this section of my park. So I'm going to do a retheming on that one. And then you got the centerpiece attraction over here. Now this is just a quite simple attraction. But I do want it to make a huge themed attraction for this area, and also with a lot of water elements in it. And I already started working on that one, but this one will be uploaded in the back of the video. And that's mostly because the attraction and the theming of the attraction was quite simple to make, but it just took me way too long to get all those triggers right. So I didn't want to show you guys like 5 hours of footage just connecting all those triggers to this attraction. Later on when it's finished and when I'm going to showcase it in this video, I'm just going to explain some bits and pieces on how I created that attraction. So save that one for later. But for now we're going to focus on theming the front side of the Coral Reef Mining, and then maybe you also will get a glimpse of the centerpiece, which will also be finished when the speed build kicks in. And last but not least, the third section, which will include 2 coasters, some flat rides, will be for future expansion. So let's just get right into the speed build and afterwards see what we've created, and also see what we've created for the flat ride over here. And let's just pause it at this moment, because I think this moment is a right moment to show you guys what we've already did. And maybe if you've seen a small glimpse of the centerpiece attraction behind me. Now we did the retheming on this one, and I did a little bit of adjustments to the places where you can actually see through the mountain, or see through the rocks over here, which are a little bit different than the original. And I placed down those canopies just to provide some shade for the guests while they're waiting in line for the coral reef mining. Now I'm going to showcase this attraction maybe later. It's also on my channel already as named as Coral Reef Mining, so be sure to check that one out. There's just only one thing that still bothers me, and that also bothered me in the first video that I posted about this attraction, and that it does only travel at 2 kilometers per hour, and I'm not able to adjust it yet to maybe 5 or 6 kilometers. Now the guests just think that this is a way too long ride time for this attraction, so it's not most likely that most guests will ride this attraction, and mostly because of the long ride time. So hopefully that will be fixed soon, that we can adjust it. It doesn't have to run like 20 kilometers an hour, but maybe 5 or 6 would do better. So there you have it for the retheming on the coral reef mining, and something different in the scenery pieces that I used versus the scenery pieces that I used in the first section, and that are the creosote bush flowers over on this side. And I also used the mimosa tree as a bush, just to give it a little bit different detail than I had in this section over here. Not to make it all look the same, but just have that little touch of difference between those two sections. And also adding in some cacti or cactus, whatever you call it, over on this side, which I didn't use in the first section. And then you got the centerpiece attraction over on this side. Now it's not working properly right now because I did load the park at the wrong moment, so I do have to pause it, and then I guess when I test it again, it should run perfectly with the water elements. Yeah. Now, like I said, this was a tough one to make, because most of the time I was just putting those triggers together, and in this case you just got this simple flat ride over here, which is covered by some pedals which are connected to 5 different types of rotational platforms, and there are also 3 vertical platforms as showcased in this example, because the attraction has a sequence where it goes up, and also the pedals do need to go up, otherwise the attraction would go through the pedals. So it's perfectly synced with the attraction, so the pedals go up while the attraction goes up, and it has 2 sequences where it does that. So now the rotational platforms also sync with the attraction, but they do have a mixed sequence, so it's just randomly in a randomly order. And then you got the waterfall and the floating water on top of those pedals. And also, last but not least, you got some water jets over in the bay over here, which also connect to a similar type of sequence in the attraction. I think this is just a nice centerpiece attraction for the area over here. It fits perfectly with the coral. It has the water elements in it, and yeah, I'm quite happy with it. It also provides some round type shapes that I wanted, because I used a lot of round shapes in the pathwork as well. The only thing that was a little bit harder is this section where you have to put the entrance and the exit next to each other. I just wanted one walkway up to the attraction and back into the park, and that's what I did over here. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this one. It's called the Reef Ballet, and it's also in the workshop, and I'm going to add the link to this one in the description of the video as well. So there you have it for the retheming of the coral reef mining and the centerpiece attraction for this whole new area. Now let's just go ahead and continue some more speed build in this video and see what we can do else in this section over here. And so that is it for today's video and today's episode of Sunshine Scandinavia. First of all, I want to thank you for watching and for all the support over the last couple of weeks regarding my Sunshine Scandinavia project. Now, I did this bird's eye view because I think this is one of my favorite shots in this park so far, where you got the curves of the pathwork, the curves of the queue, the nice color of the water in this whole new area with the dark green foliage and the dark rocks besides it. And I'm quite happy with this area, and I can't wait to show you guys even more on this new section. We did the centerpiece attraction over here. We did the coral reef mining retheming on this side. And as you can see over here, work has already started on theming the Flight at Black Rock Cave attraction. And as you can see, it still looks like a 2 out of 10, but it will be a 10 out of 10 when it's finished. I'm trying to add in a skull rock on this one, but I do need to measure out the height and the depth and the width of this of these rock structures around the attraction. So still working on that one. Last but not least, a small structure over the pathwork, because I do believe that pathwork sometimes just need some path covers just to have a break point between one section and another section. So this one is also on the workshop. And the same for those two drink stands and coffee stands and whatever you call it on this side. Both of them are uploaded separately to the workshop. So if you want to use them in your own park, just go ahead and use the link or the codes in the description. So once again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time in Sunshine Scandinavia.